And good evening, everybody. We are coming to you live from St. Albans High School here in St. Albans, West Virginia, as we're getting ready to watch some Red Dragons basketball as they take on Oak Hill. St. Albans comes in with a record of 5-7, which I think is very deceptive. They started off 0-4, and you look at those numbers at 0-4, breaking it down a little further. First off, they open up with the defending state champion in Charleston Catholic, and they're the only team that has played George Washington this year, who's undefeated at 12-0, remotely close. George Washington, who averages outscoring their opponents 68-39 in their games, and they lost by 13. But the combined record of their first four opponents of 30-15. So very deceptive when you look at that 5-7. And I'd say the same about Oak Hill. You have a team that started 1-4, and on December 20th, they would play Riverside, losing 63-50, and then compare that to a month later, on January 18th, they would play that same school, Riverside, and pick up a 57-50 victory. Meanwhile, on 12/28, they would play Princeton, also losing by double digits, 52-38, and would bounce back on January 14th, defeating Princeton 54-47. So this is a team that started 1-4 but looks to have made remarkable strides. The JV game was a thriller that went into overtime, was won 44-42 by St. Albans. And I think the varsity game, I just have a feeling we're also going to be in for a thrill. I'm Tyler Rowland, and want to give also a big shout-out to Butch Mounts for inviting me up here, and also to Josh Bowman, who's on production for tonight. And we are going to get ready to take our first break and come back here shortly on Video Productions.
Welcome, folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General store. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General store, where creativity meets convenience. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
Hello, I'm Chris Braley, owner of Braley Care Homes. What separates Braley Care Homes apart is that we focus on home. Home is where they want to be, and home is what we give them. We are licensed for 16 residents, which allows us to provide individual attention to those that need it. We prepare home-cooked meals in our country kitchen so they can have a sensory experience of that process. When I have a family member come to me and say, gosh, they seem to be so much calmer, or they're talking so much more, that means everything to me.
Braley Care Homes, where caring is our business.
When your vehicle is damaged in an accident, it's not only the damage, it's the inconvenience that's the problem. David Smith Frame and Body Shop has over 35 years experience in the business of not only fixing your vehicle correctly, but to work with your insurance company in helping arrange a rental. It's all in the experience of the people at David Smith Frame and Body Shop that make it a good experience for you.
I hope you don't need us, but if you do.
Like Papa says, isn't it nice to know David Smith Frame and Body Shop is there for you?
At Manny Ellis & Lane, it's not just business, it's personal.
We care deeply about what we do. We're fully immersed in the gravity of the client's circumstance. We understand what's at stake for them.
Are you ready to make a difference? ResCare Community Living is looking for caregivers to provide compassionate, quality care to support individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Enjoy flexible schedules, comprehensive benefits, career advancement opportunities, daily pay options, and more. Text BEST LIFE to 97211 and start your career in caring.
And we have about 8 minutes until the start of the game. With me, a big shout out to our production guy, Josh Bowman, and also to Kendrick Gregory, as Kendrick Gregory is going to be on camera tonight. And what an atmosphere it is. I mean, it's nice to get back to, at least from a weather perspective, some sense of normalcy. You had a lot of cancellations, a lot of reschedulings, and a lot of reshufflings right now, just given the recent weather. And when you looked at both of these teams, I mentioned their records and gave a little bit of a breakdown early before. Oh, I gave a little bit of a breakdown early before, and we have, but with Oak Hill, you're looking at this school. I mean, it's a pretty big school. Both schools are big. I mean, you're talking about from schools that are in the 4A class, so you're getting into the thousands, and I mean, so it's definitely going to be a big game coming up. I think that this game just, when you have two teams that are putting it together, looking to get things going at the right time, I think that's always something. This is a big game for both teams in a lot of places. But I think that as Oak Hill, I was making sure I had their number right, they had close to 1,100 students last season. Meanwhile, about just under 1,000 for St. Albans, so they're pretty close in size. But you look at St. Albans first off, and you have a team that has a lot that they bring to the table. They have quickness, they have size. I mean, I anticipate you're going to see them try to get it going a little bit. And they have a little bit they have some size, they have some quickness, and it's definitely going to be a good environment, I think, that when you look at this team. And I think that you're going to see some guys, I mean, from one of them, number 2, Zay Hall, who certainly brings a lot to the table. And Hall, who just threw one down off of an alley-oop. And we're definitely going to be an exciting atmosphere as these two teams get ready to play. But I think that Zay Hall will be important to this team in their victory. And to pull this one out, I think you'll have to have a good, solid combination. And you look at St. Albans, they're coached by their head coach is Brian England, who ironically is a West Virginia State guy. So that's where I called plenty of games last season. So it's good to see that. And the principal, Dr. Jacqueline Swain, and superintendent, Dr. Tom Williams. So very excited to be here, and a big thank you for having me also. And this is Coach England, his second run with the team. He actually coached here in the late 2010s from 2017 all the way through 2020 before he would take a little breather, and he was rehired in 2023 as Coach England, who has his hand in a lot of things on the business end as well as the sports end. Meanwhile, for Oak Hill, you have their head coach as Andy Keys, who was an assistant there for 9 years before taking the head coaching job. Then you have the principal, Katie Hayes, and the superintendent, Gary Huff. So definitely much appreciation to them for coming here. As we're about close to 4 minutes before the tip-off of this game, but it's a pretty good drive up. I mean, despite the rain, it's definitely some things you definitely want to be safe out there, as, of course, flooding is probably going to pick up just with all this snow melting. But I think that we definitely, hopefully, will have a good evening of basketball. And you look at these two teams and just who they have and how they can match up. And I talked a little bit about Zay Hall for St. Albans with his quickness and ability to get going. When you look at Oak Hill, one to watch is number 10, Levi Kiska. Kiska, who the 6-foot guard who had 25 points against Nicholas County in their last game. A big win for the team. And they're looking to continue to build off that. I think that if, this team who started 1-4, but again has been 4-1 since, and I think coming on the road into St. Albans and getting a win would be an absolute boost for them and their schedule. A lot of tradition here with both schools and what they bring to the table, but I think that this is something that when you look at the Red Dragons, and this is my first steps on the campus even today. I think I might have delivered here when I delivered papers back delivered paper boxes back in the college, but it was an unbelievable atmosphere, just a very nicely clean campus, and a big hats off to the custodial staff and what they do. And I mean, definitely very organized and well put together. So it's definitely one of the best campuses I've been on, I'll say. I came here from Eastern Kentucky to call this game. And having traveled around Virginia, North Carolina, Maryland, those areas, I've seen quite a lot of high school campuses. So this one definitely is one that stands out. And we're about 2 minutes before the opening tip, and we're going to take our break and come back here shortly and get ready for the tip or the introduction of the starting lineup. We'll be right back. You're watching Video Productions.
Welcome, folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General store. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General store, where creativity meets convenience. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
Hello, I'm Chris Braley, owner of Braley Care Homes. What separates Braley Care Homes apart is that we focus on home. Home is where they want to be, and home is what we give them. We are licensed for 16 residents, which allows us to provide individual attention to those that need it. We prepare home-cooked meals in our country kitchen so they can have a sensory experience of that process. When I have a family member come to me and say, gosh, they seem to be so much calmer, or they're talking so much more, that means everything to me.
Braley Care Homes, where caring is our business.
When your vehicle is damaged in an accident, it's not only the damage, it's the inconvenience that's the problem. David Smith Frame and Body Shop has over 35 years experience in the business of not only fixing your vehicle correctly, but to work with your insurance company in helping arrange a rental. It's all in the experience of the people at David Smith Frame and Body Shop that make it a good experience for you.
I hope you don't need us, but if you do.
Like Papa says, isn't it nice to know David Smith Frame and Body Shop is there for you?
At Manny Ellison Lane, it's not just business, it's personal.
We care deeply about what we do. We're fully immersed in the gravity of the client's circumstance. We understand what's at stake for them.
Are you ready to make a difference? ResCare Community Living is looking for caregivers to provide compassionate, quality care to support individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Enjoy flexible schedules, comprehensive benefits, career advancement opportunities, daily pay options, and more. Text BEST LIFE to 97211 and start your career in caring.
Your vehicle is damaged in an accident, it's not only the damage, it's the inconvenience that's the problem. David Smith Frame and Body Shop has over 35 years experience in the business of not only fixing your vehicle correctly, but to work with your insurance company in helping arrange a rental. It's all in the experience of the people at David Smith Frame and Body Shop that make it a good experience for you.
I hope you don't need us, but if you do.
Like Papa says, isn't it nice to know David Smith Frame and Body Shop is there for you?
At Manny Ellison Lane, it's not just business, it's personal.
We care deeply about what we do. We're fully immersed in the gravity of the client's circumstance. We understand what's at stake for them.
Hi, this is Patayo, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe Sandwich is that first bite. I really like the marinated chicken breast, the multi-grain brioche bun, and that creamy cilantro lime sauce. It all works beautifully together. It's just deliciousness.
Real guests paid for their testimonial.
Starting lineup for your St. Albans Dragons. We have a 6'6" senior forward, number 4, tipoff. A 6'7" senior forward, number 23, Curtis Parks. A 5'7" senior guard, number 3, Deuce McLean. A 5'8" junior guard, number 2, Zay Hall. And a 6-foot sophomore guard, number 11, Pregame. The head coach for the Dragons is Brian England, assisted by Chad Hutton, Ethan Clay, and Zach Harper. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to play some basketball.
All right, what an intro. Impressive. As these two teams get ready to take the court, as at the middle, and that's going to be a battle. That's number 21, Conley of Oak Hill, that's getting ready to tip off against number 23, Parks, as the two guys get ready to go at it. And both those guys bring a lot of length to this team, and not so much just their height, but their wingspan. I think a key player also for Oak Hill will be Thomas Jones looking at it. He's had 12 in his past couple of games, and somebody that brings a lot of strength on the interior, as it's going to be opening up at St. Albans' possession. It's taken inside. Nice feed underneath, and just like I said in pregame, Zay Hall, what a cut. And he gets the first bucket of the game. As Oak Hill has it, that's going to be Nelson. Looking. He gets it over to Conley. Attacks his jumper. No, that's good. Nice off-balance jumper, and that knots it up. A man-to-man defense coming from Oak Hill as screen set by Parks. And they're going to switch off. They're going to take it inside. Now they're going to give it over to Hall, over to Parks, and back over to McLean. He feeds it back up top. The big guy's going to take a three, miss it. Rebound by Parks, but back out. McLean ready, and it's going to be rebounded by Jones. As Hicks slows it down, and he'll direct traffic up top. He drives in, kicks it to Jones, and gives it over to Nelson. Back over to Conley, and a foul called. We're going to see who that's on. That's going to go against St. Albans, and that's going to go against number 2, Zay Hall. That's going to be his first, the team's first. So now it'll remain with St. Albans. Or I'm sorry, it'll remain with Oak Hill. As they get it to Conley, corner pocket three, good! Brent Conley with all 5 of Oak Hill's points now. As it's a 5-0 run for the Red Devils. Hall looking, he finds Paulin, and over to McLean, back over, 3-ball up, in and out. 0 for 3 down for downtown so far, but it's deflected and taken away. First team turnover for Oak Hill, and it's deflected back and over. First team turnovers for St. Albans. As it's fed to the corner, powered inside. Good ball movement coming from Oak Hill. Floater up and good. And that's number 10, Levi Kiska, with his first bucket. Kiska, who went off, like I said, 25 against Nicholas County. He's getting on a good stretch, and it's a 7-0 run right now for Oak Hill. As McLean looking to get it inside, and he does, but just through the hands of Paul, and that's going to go back to Oak Hill. So 2 back-to-back turnovers for St. Albans here in the first quarter, as they're looking to try to stop Oak Hill, who's been on a good run early. As they're going to pick up, and so somewhat sagging man-to-man defense coming as Hicks directs traffic. Screen from Conley up top, double team, and Jones has it on the outside. It's handed up. That's Nelson. He'll go in, kick it back out. Conley's 3 off and thrown back in. Good hustle, but just couldn't get it in there. That's going to go back to St. Albans. So now they'll get a chance to stop the 7-0 run here on this possession as Hall will be met at half court by number 10, Kiska, and he'll throw it over to Sims, and they go over to Hall again. Parks, and back up McLean. And good movement around the exterior. It's taken inside, put up, and missed. And they've had some pretty solid looks early. St. Albans just not connected on him as Oak Hill gets their second turnover. Nice feed down court. And Brogan Sams gets his first bucket. Good catch, good finish by the sophomore. And that cuts the lead to 3. And a foul called. And I believe that's going to be on McLean. We'll get the official ruling, though. It might be on Paulin. That is going to go on Paulin, his first, the team's second. As coming in off the bench is number 5, Xavion Clare, the junior for St. Albans. And Oak Hill looking to get it in. And they're lobbing it back. What a tough catch. Taken inside, kick to the corner. Conley for his second triple. Good. Brent Conley with 8. So Conley with 8 of his 10 team's points, including 2 3-pointers, and you can see the confidence in that shot here early. Take it inside. St. Albans looking to get it in there as McLean feeds it out to Parks. They go corner 3 from Hall, in and out, and rebounded. It's going to go back to Oak Hill. St. Albans getting some looks for 3, just good looks, but just nothing falling for him at this point. Meanwhile, Conley's hit 2 of them on the other end. As Jones up top, looking to feed it over, a 3, and good. So 3 3-pointers for Oak Hill. Nelson picks up his first there, and a 30-second timeout called. And we'll keep it here. So a timeout on the court taken by St. Albans. So right now, if you're just tuning in, Oak Hill comes into this game. St. Albans will get the first bucket. But it's been Brent Conley doing a majority of the damage as he has 8 of his 13 points. And then David Nelson just hit a 3 to further add on to it. I really felt like, honestly, on that play, I thought Samson maybe partially blocked that, but it went up there, just got a finger on it. But it just went up, went through the net. So Oak Hill really off to us. This is the start that they want right now. Meanwhile, I think St. Albans just has to keep attacking. They've had some solid looks on the outside, but I believe a 0 for 4 from downtown right now. As Hall will bring it up. As now St. Albans or Oak Hill switching to a bit of a zone. McLean to Parks. And on the outside is Hall. Back over, corner 3. Good. That's a nice shot. And that's Claire, who came off the bench and now gets a big bucket for his team. As it's taken Kiska inside and back out. 3-ball up. And Oak Hill nearly hit that one. They've been unconscious from outside. As it's fed inside. Nice pass. Blocked from behind, but a foul called. And we'll see who that one's on. This is the first team foul that is going against Oak Hill right now. 2 against St. Albans. It's going to be Higgs. That's going to be his first and the team's first. So that's going to be McLean, and he'll miss the first. As now for St. Albans checking in that's going to be number 30, Holden Young, the junior. And one more coming up. McLean going to miss that one as well, but it's rebounded by St. Albans underneath, and a foul called. I think that one's going to be on the floor. That was good hustle again. Claire's come off the bench, and he's made some noises. That's going to go against number 34, Tom Jones. That's going to be his first. Each team now knotted at 2 fouls right now. As 3-ball from way out, nothing but net. I almost knew that one was going in when he shot it. Confident release from Brogan Samson. He picks up his 5th point. Has the lead back to 3 with back-to-back threes coming from St. Albans. As Hicks on the outside tried to go around the screen, not there. Handled up top by Nelson, and Hicks will reset it, guarded tightly by McLean. And back over as Kiska inside, and they're going to get him for an offensive foul. So that's going to be his first, and that's going to be the first and the team's third. So that'll be then the third team turnover. Right now, Oak Hill with 3 turnovers in this one. As Hall over to McLean, 6-0 run from St. Albans. It's deflected out of bounds. And it's going to stay with the Red Dragons. And way back, football pass to Hall, and he catches it. And he'll be met by Kiska over to number 11, Sams, and he's doubled and lobs it out. And here we got a 5-second as Claire, his jumper. Good! Xavion Claire off the bench for 5 points, and now St. Albans right back in this one. They led 2-0 and then trailed by 9, and it's an 8-0 run right now. As Hicks guarded up top by McLean. Feeds it to the corner. The big guy's going to drive inside. Fakes, and the ball's deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with Oak Hill. As that's going to be number 11, Nelson, inbounding. Or no, I'm sorry, that's going to be Kiska inbounding. Kiska who had a bucket earlier. And Nelson up top. I go right to Conley here if I'm Oak Hill. He's been red hot to start this one. Jumper up and miss. Rebound by Parks. As running is Hall. He's going to attack and pass deflected. A nice thought, but good awareness coming from Oak Hill. And that's going to stay with St. Albans here late in the first quarter. It's been a battle as Oak Hill led by 9 at one point, 13-4. But it's been an 8-0 run as Hall, man, he's going to get called for an offensive foul. So each team now with 3 fouls, and that's going to be Hall's second. As Ty Paulin returns for St. Albans. So Hall's going to take a breather and no doubt could be a game changer with 2 fouls on him, as that's handled up top by Nelson. Thinks about it, gives it over to Conley and over to Kiska. He'll take the triple and miss it. Rebound underneath by Parks. Good authoritative rebound. As the chance for St. Albans to lead for the first time since it was 2-0 on this possession. As it's going to be attacked. Sams goes in, puts it up, misses, but gets fouled. And he's going to get to go to the line for 2 shots. That's going to be the 4th team foul, so no more fouls to give. As that foul's going to go on number 21, Brent Conley. That's going to be his first, the team's 4th. But you look at St. Albans, just what tradition, as Sams hits the first and has 6 right now. But St. Albans, I mean, some of the history, you can't talk about them without talking about Brett Nelson, one of the all-time greats, a part of Florida's 2000 team that got to the national championship game under Billy Donovan, lost to Michigan State, but still was able to make an amazing run in the NCAA tournament. He would play and become one of the elite players in the country in basketball, and now is an assistant at North Carolina State under Kevin Keats, who just got off a Final Four, and that's going to be McLean. Nice control, and it is a 12-0 run for St. Albans. That's the first bucket for Deuce McLean, 4th team turnover for Oak Hill, and this atmosphere picking up here at St. Albans High School as Nelson, or McLean, I'm sorry, that's Kiska. Nelson now driving. Good, wow, what control on that shot. Got it through there, and that's going to do it at the buzzer as it's a 16-15 lead. Oak Hill, or St. Albans leading Oak Hill. We're going to take a break and come back. Here you're watching Red Dragons basketball on Video Productions.
Are you ready to make a difference? ResCare Community Living is looking for caregivers to provide compassionate, quality care to support individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Enjoy flexible schedules, comprehensive benefits, career advancement opportunities, daily pay options, and more. Text BEST LIFE to 97211 and start your career in caring.
And we're back. Tyler Rowland here along with Kendrick Gregory on camera, Josh Bowman on production, and of course Deuce McClain. A fun fact about him, and credit to Josh Bowman for that one, his sister Connor, an Olympian that has made quite a lot of noise on a national level and has definitely represented this area strongly. As that's going to be handled, that's going to be Hicks, Kiska. That's going to be Jones, Conley, and Nelson on the court for Oak Hill. Of course, it's Conley leading the way with 8 right now. On the other direction, it's McClain, Parks, Sams. That's going to be Paulin, and that's going to be Young in the game. Take note that Hall, number 2, Zay Hall, is on the bench with 2 fouls, as that's going to be handled up top. Good ball movement along the top. As Nelson for his second 3, missed that one. It was a little bit off balance. Hicks there, and it's blocked by Parks. And a foul called against Hicks. That's going to be the team's first. And that's going to be his second, I'm sorry. So Hicks now in foul trouble, and they're going to have to make a decision on that end. They're going to send in number 0, Carter Richardson, the senior. So he'll come in now as Richardson looks to step in there, and will probably run the point as they'll go to Parks on the outside and back over to Young. Paulin, and the 3 ball by Sams. Why not? It's good. Brogan Sams already into double digits, and now he's leading all scorers as St. Albans is on a 15-2 run right now. They trail by 9 early. As Nelson for his second triple. That one's off, rebound tipped, and into the hands of Conley. He hadn't taken a shot in a while. That's where I'll try to get it to if I'm Oak Hill. And they lose the basketball. Just a tough, unfortunate spot for them. That's going to be the 5th team turnover. 5-2 is the turnover count right now. Oak Hill with 5 and St. Albans with 2 here in the second quarter. As that's going to be Sams running the point. And McClain now with the basketball. Each team with a guard in foul trouble. Zay Hall in foul troubles for St. Albans, and Hicks in foul trouble for Oak Hill. Paulin underneath, outside pass. Young's 3 off. Rebound by Kiska. And he's going to run tempo, as he'll be picked up by Paulin. Screen from Conley. They go to Jones on the outside. Jones against Young. He spins into the lane. Nice feed underneath to Conley, and he gets the lay-in. No look pass from Tom Jones, and he gets the bucket, does Conley. He's now into double digits. So Conley and Sams have led the way for each team, both with 2 threes, and at 10 right now. As McClain has it up top. And he's guarded by Kiska. And over to Parks. And over to Young. Screen from Parks. And Paulin thought about it. Over to McClain. He'll take it. Back out. And try to feed it inside to Paulin, and it's taken away. So now Oak Hill a chance to take the lead on this possession. As Jones has it up top. Tom Jones had an incredible pass. His step back 3 missed, but Conley tips it out, but out of bounds. But a nice thought, as that's going to be checking back in. I'm sorry, that's going to be Parks now. I keep getting Parks and Claire. That's my apologies. As Parks now, number 23, as Claire number 5, as now McClain will have it for St. Albans. And he'll be guarded tightly. Or I thought they're going to pick him up. Screen coming from Paulin. And Sams on the outside. They're really looking to get him going. And he draws the foul. The second team foul on Oak Hill. And we'll see who that one's on. And that's going to be on number 10. That's going to go against Kiska. That's going to be his second. So Kiska and Hicks each on the bench right now. We'll see if they're sitting a substitute in. I'm anticipating that's going to be I'm anticipating we're going to see as that one's okay. That's Antoine Hicks coming in. Armani Hicks on the bench with 2 right now. And Antoine Hicks in the game. And the shot up, second one. And Sam's good on both. 4 for 6 from the line right now is St. Albans. As again, they are on a 17-4 run with a lot of momentum in their direction. As Nelson has it against McLean, over to Jones. And it's fed to Hicks, and he's going to get called for the travel. And that'll be the 6th-team turnover for Oak Hill. So now Nelson, or Sams will give it back to McLean as they'll get set up, man-to-man coming from the Red Devils. Over to Paulin up top. They go to the corner to Claire. Back up. 3 ball from Sams. He got it! Are you kidding me? 15 right now for Brogan Sams. Then that is how you run off the screen to get it. He anticipated that directly. As it's taken inside by Conley. Jumper is good. Conley with 12. So Conley with 12 and Sands with 15 of his team's 24 points right now. And Paulin just threw his hands. 4th-team turnover for St. Albans. Conley, and he gets it back over. Hicks over to Nelson. His triple, and it's off. Jones gets the rebound, goes up, and scores. And that's the first bucket for Tom Jones. Jones, who had an incredible behind-the-back pass for an assist earlier, and the lead back to 3. The largest lead of the game was 24-17 for St. Albans. The largest lead for Oak Hill at 13-4. And we'll see what the call is. That's going to be an offensive foul. As they're in position on that, that's going to go against Brogan Sams. And that's going to be his first. Each team right now at 2 fouls apiece. And Armani Hicks returning for Oak Hill as he's in the game with 2 fouls right now. It's Hicks with 2. Kiska has 2 for Oak Hill. And Hall has 2 for St. Albans, but has been on the bench. As Jones up top, Nelson to Armani Hicks. Antoine Hicks tried to hit Armani on the cut. And a foul called against, if that's on Brogan, that's going to be his second, but I think he might have been a step back from it, and that's going to go against Claire. So Xavier Claire will pick up his first. One more foul to give for St. Albans before they're in before the bonus. As now Antoine Hicks will inbound, but a substitution first, so Zay Hall will come back into the game. So be aware that Zay Hall has 2 fouls. We have two players on each team now with a player on the court with 2 fouls as Jones fakes the jumper, tried to feed it into Antoine Hicks, lost it. Hicks kicks it out, and it's going to be handled and back up to Armani Hicks. He's guarded by Zay Hall and will direct traffic. As it's a 4-0 run right now for Oak Hill. Jones guarded up top by Parks. They set the screen for him. Nice high-low, but it's deflected out. It's going to stay with Oak Hill. Tried to get it to Richardson there. And it's going to be inbounded. That's going to be number 11, Nelson. And he looks, he finds number 3, Hicks. And it's taken away. Hall to the rim, lays it in. Zay Hall with his second bucket. And it's now back up to a 5-point lead. Jones up top, a big defensive play, and St. Albans has forced a couple of those runouts as now Antoine Hicks guarded by Sams over to Armani Hicks, who's guarded by Hall. Screen from Richardson. And over to Nelson. He's guarded by McLean. Nelson inside. His jumper. Ooh, in and out. But it's deflected to Richardson. Hicks's 3 is good. Armani Hicks. And that's his first bucket. And that's going to be the closest it's been in about 3 minutes, I'd say, as the lead's cut back to 2. It's been as much as 7 as Hall now screamed from Parks. He'll drive inside out to McLean. His triple off, tipped up, missed by Parks. Parks gets it and tips it, and it goes into the hands of Nelson. So now David Nelson running the point for Oak Hill. He'll take it inside. His jumper off. Rebound goes to Richardson and back out to Jones. And he'll attack. Jones to the bucket. Missed it. Rebound by Parks. As St. Albans fortunate that Oak Hill's missed a couple easy shots. No call there as Claire's jumper. And it's going to be rebounded by Hicks. And a timeout call by Oak Hill. It's going to be a full timeout. Okay. So we're going to run a replay here. And look at that. Right off the catch, a three-pointer from Brogan Sams, who has 15 right now in the first half. So, I mean, if you're just tuning in, it's been a one run after another as Oak Hill would jolt out to a 13-4 lead off of 8 points from Brent Conley. And then on the other end, Brogan Sams would send the team on a 20-4 run to give them a 24-17 lead. So right now it's St. Albans ahead 26-24. And first off on Oak Hill's side, I want to say a big congratulations to Jake Dickens, his soccer player who signed his letter of intent for Davis and Elkins. So major cap tip to him and all the best. Wow, and a big thank you again. Much appreciation to Josh Bowman, who's up there with me on the production, and he just informed me that Brogan Sams has just hit his 500th point mark. So he's getting it done, no question. As we're going to get back to play here, as it's going to be Oak Hill basketball coming up. And here we go. That's going to be the two Hickses in the backcourt. As Armani Hicks, they send it around to Kiska. And feed inside to Richardson, but catches it, but gets called for traveling. That's going to be the 8th team turnover. But, again, when you've got double your opponent's turnovers and are down only 2 right now, I mean, that's something good to look at in a way. And really, those screens underneath have been open as – it's caught by Sams. He's going to feed it inside to Paulin. He's going to spin, turn, go up, and miss it, but get his own rebound. He's surrounded. The big guy puts it up. What strength, but just went out. Rebound to Oak Hill. That was Richardson that got it on the other end. Nelson guarded by Sams, and as Hall tried to jump the pass, Hicks from the corner, his 3 off. Rebound by Zay Hall. He's going to run, but Oak Hill back. Hall will bring it out and feeds it in. They go underneath to Claire, and he's going to get called for traveling. I think Claire was shocked at how good a position he had underneath, and that can happen. I do believe in such a thing as being too wide open, so it's going to go back to Oak Hill. This game going much like the JV game right now, which was won by St. Albans, a 2-point win in overtime, as now Hicks over Armani Hicks, over to Antoine Hicks. It's deflected by McLean and back to Nelson. So St. Albans right now running that tight man-to-man and trying to jump the passes. And it's paid off with 8 turnovers. And Hall really trying to challenge Hicks. He has to be careful. And an offensive foul called against Oak Hill. That's going to be the team's 3rd. And, that's going to be on Armani Hicks, and that one's really going to hurt. The primary ball handler picks up his 3rd foul of the game. So now that's going to send in number 12, Ron Thomas, the junior for Oak Hill. As with 11 seconds left, St. Albans trying to get as much time as they can. I think they're going to go right to Sams, and that's who they're looking to hit. Sams drives inside, feeds it underneath to Paulin. He got it at the buzzer. What a feed from Brogan Sams to Ty Paulin, and he gets his first bucket of the half at the buzzer. your halftime score. It's 28-24. St. Albans over Oak Hill. We'll be right back. You're watching Video Productions.
Welcome, folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General store. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General store, where creativity meets convenience. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
Hello, I'm Chris Braley, owner of Braley Care Homes. What separates Braley Care Homes apart is that we focus on home. Home is where they want to be, and home is what we give them. We are licensed for 16 residents, which allows us to provide individual attention to those that need it. We prepare home-cooked meals in our country kitchen so they can have a sensory experience of that process. When I have a family member come to me and say, gosh, they seem to be so much calmer, or they're talking so much more, that means everything to me.
Braley Care Homes, where caring is our business.
When your vehicle is damaged in an accident, it's not only the damage, it's the inconvenience that's the problem. David Smith Frame and Body Shop has over 35 years experience in the business of not only fixing your vehicle correctly, but to work with your insurance company in helping arrange a rental. It's all in the experience of the people at David Smith Frame and Body Shop that make it a good experience for you.
I hope you don't need us, but if you do.
Like Papa says, isn't it nice to know David Smith Frame and Body Shop is there for you?
At Manny Ellison Lane, it's not just business, it's personal.
We care deeply about what we do. We're fully immersed in the gravity of the client's circumstance. We understand what's at stake for them.
Are you ready to make a difference? ResCare Community Living is looking for caregivers to provide compassionate, quality care to support individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Enjoy flexible schedules, comprehensive benefits, career advancement opportunities, daily pay options, and more. Text BEST LIFE to 97211 and start your career in caring.
Massey Power Sports is your one-stop off-road and tractor destination. We have an awesome selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, dirt bikes, tractors, and kid machines. Our machines come loaded with features the other brands don't have and will save you thousands of dollars versus the competition. Massey Power Sports offers the best prices, the best service, and the best warranties. Our locations in Beckley and Cross Lanes are here to serve you. Online at MasseyPowersports.com. Massey Power Sports. We power your work and your adventure.
And we're back here, and a big congratulations to Brogan Sams, who in the first half for St. Albans scored his 500th career point. And Josh Bowman and I were just talking in the timeout about him, and as we've got about 7 minutes left until the game resumes, we're just talking about Brogan and just what he's meant to this program. And Brogan Sams, who Josh had mentioned, had a couple of big game winners. He had a big one against Nitro this year. I believe that was a 59-58 win, if I'm correct. And George Washington, he hit one last year. So somebody that's developed not just a reputation as a great somebody that can just score, he's also a clutch player. And I'm so impressed with how he cuts, how he comes off screens, how he sets screens, and how he looks to move without the basketball. That's somebody that's having a tremendous impact. Brogan, congratulations to you. And, oh, yeah, he's only a sophomore. So definitely a great career, a great now and a great future. I want to take the opportunity to also honor one of the great all-time coaches in not just in Kentucky but nationwide, and my life coach, I'll say, Philip Haywood, who passed away last week. Philip, who was the head coach at Belfry High School in Eastern Kentucky and also coached Prestonsburg in the 1970s and early 80s. And in 50 seasons, he accumulated 491 wins and 8 state championships, all of them since 2003. So we say God bless you and God bless your family, and we'll be praying for you and thinking of you, and much appreciation to him for all he's done, not just for Kentucky, but some of the West Virginia teams have encountered Belfry from time to time on the schedule. So definitely important, I think, to honor him here tonight. And also, again, if you're just tuning in, we'll get to to the game as to talking about some of the scoring of it. As first off, we'll go through the runs. It started off at St. Albans with Zay Hall would get the first 2 of the game, and then from there it would be all Oak Hill for a stretch as they would go on a 13-2 run to lead 13-4, and that big part of that would be 8 points coming from Brent Conley. Meanwhile, though, St. Albans had something in the back pocket. They would come back, and that was Brogan Sams. That was in the back pocket. 3 threes for him in the first half. He had 15 total, leading his team, while Brent Conley has 12 for Oak Hill. But Sams, what an incredible run. He had 3 threes. His team's biggest lead was 24-17, so a 20-4 run they would go on in that first half to get ahead. And, it was back and forth after that, but a big turning point was late in the first half as Coach Keys kept Armani Hicks out. Hicks, who had a 3, but also has been the main ball handler for the team, and Hicks, who would pick up his 3rd foul late in the first half. So Hicks that has 3 fouls, and Levi Kitska also has 3 for Oak Hill. Meanwhile, on the other end, it's Hall. Zay Hall has 2. He came back in the first half, but was able to stay out of foul trouble. So he was able to get it done on that end and avoid anything major. I'm going to go through the scoring. As I mentioned, Sams has 15, Claire has 5, number 5. Meanwhile, Hall has 4, Paulin has 2, and Deuce McLean has 2 for St. Albans. And they also have, as a team, they have 4 turnovers and are 4 of 6 from the free throw line. Meanwhile, on the other side, Oak Hill, you have Conley leading the way with 12, and he was red hot early. And honestly, I don't think they got him the ball enough, in my opinion. He hit a couple threes, had really tried to force himself in early, got going, but it's been pretty quiet since. But of course, that could change in the second half. David Nelson, number 11, hit a triple in the first half. He has 5. Armani Hicks has a 3, and then Kitska has 2, as does Tom Jones. And Jones, who had an incredible assist in the first half. But Oak Hill, I think if I'm St. Albans, I come out in the second half, try to jump the passes, try to get those run-outs that set the tone in the first half. As Oak Hill had 8 turnovers, and I don't have Oak Hill taking a free throw. So I don't think they've been at the line this half. Maybe I could have missed one here or there recording it, but that's what I do if I'm St. Albans. I think if I'm Oak Hill, I either A, try to get Conley going, or B, those high screens up top, they're leaving some wide open spots on the inside. Depending on what adjustments St. Albans makes, you just see what's open for you. As we're getting ready to start the second half here in just under 2 minutes. And we'll be right back as you're watching Video Productions.
I'm Chris Braley, owner of Braley Care Homes. What separates Braley Care Homes apart is that we focus on home. Home is where they want to be, and home is what we give them. We are licensed for 16 residents, which allows us to provide individual attention to those that need it. We prepare home-cooked meals in our country kitchen so they can have a sensory experience of that process. When I have a family member come to me and say, gosh, they seem to be so much calmer, or they're talking so much more, that means everything to me.
Braley Care Homes, where caring is our business.
When your vehicle is damaged in an accident, it's not only the damage, it's the inconvenience that's the problem. David Smith Frame and Body Shop has over 35 years experience in the business of not only fixing your vehicle correctly, but to work with your insurance company in helping arrange a rental. It's all in the experience of the people at David Smith Frame and Body Shop that make it a good experience for you.
I hope you don't need us, but if you do.
Like Papa says, isn't it nice to know David Smith Frame and Body Shop is there for you?
At Manny Ellison Lane, it's not just business, it's personal.
We care deeply about what we do. We're fully immersed in the gravity of the client's circumstance. We understand what's at stake for them.
Are you ready to make a difference? ResCare Community Living is looking for caregivers to provide compassionate, quality care to support individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Enjoy flexible schedules, comprehensive benefits, career advancement opportunities, daily pay options, and more. Text BEST LIFE to 97211 and start your career in caring.
Yeah, it's definitely turned out to be a good game so far, as it's 28-24. And very excited to start the second half here. And shout out to good Oak Hill family. Big shout out to Bulch Willis and for him for some good information at halftime. And as that's going to be on the court now, St. Albans starting with the basketball. It's going to be Hall, McLean, Paulin. It's going to be Sams and Parks on the court for St. Albans, as it's going to be a man-to-man coming from Oak Hill. That's going to be Paulin taking it in, missed it, gets the rebound, gets a second bucket. Paulin with a show of strength on the inside. Paulin, who had the bucket to conclude the half off the assist, as now it's going to be on the court for Oak Hill. It's going to be number 1, Armani Hill. He's going to be on the court. Be aware he has 3 fouls. Number 34, Jones. Number 11, Nelson. Number 10, Kiska. And as Hicks with a big bucket. A 3, his second. And also Conley, Brent Conley. I'm very curious to see if they try to get him going again, but Hicks starting to catch some fire. He's hit 2 threes as McLean against him gets it over as they go to Hall. As Hall back to Parks and over to Sams. His 3 and missed. Rebound by Hicks. Armani Hicks and splits the defenders. Nice fake as he's going to go up. I see why they're keeping him in with 3 fouls. Conley's 3 missed. Rebound by Paulin. And McLean's going to slow it down and get the offense set here in the second half. And Hall, as he's guarded by Kiska, screen coming over to Paulin and back over to McLean. He takes it in and puts it up and misses. Paulin underneath, misses. McLean, he's going to bring it out. And Sams fakes, gives it up to Hall. He drives in over to McLean and over to Parks. He gives it back as Sams. And they're really tightening up on him. That goes off the foot of Parks. And we'll go back to Oak Hill here, as it's been a 3-0 game so far in the second half, or 3-2 game, as Oak Hill and St. Albans really both tightening up their defenses. That's the 6th-team turnover for St. Albans. Hicks on the outside screen from Conley. Jones guarded tightly by Parks. As the big guy's going to go to the bucket and score. What agility from Tom Jones. And that's one who has to get more involved. He had 2 in the first half, and that's going to be and that's going to be a turnover, I believe. Maybe it stepped on the end line. If I'm correct, that's going to give us, so that'll be another possession coming for Oak Hill as it's thrown back to Hicks, and he'll hang on against Hall. Screen coming from Gaunt. Now he's going to run to the outside as Hicks against Hall. Over to Conley. His jumper off. Rebound into the hands of Sams. And he's going to push it. Sams takes it in, and it's taken out of there. That's Jones coming up with it. Or no, a foul called. I'm sorry. I'm going to correct mine. Got to correct. I pretty much restructure my stat sheet as McLean will inbound it. And I'm sure the foul was on. His 3 from Claire is good. That's his 3rd. Xavion Claire now has 8. So it brings it back up to a 4-point lead. I think they just said it was out of bounds. I thought I saw a foul call, but maybe not, as they're not indicating a foul on the board as Kiska goes in. Kiska only 2 so far tonight, but he's open for 3 and misses. It's tipped out and back to Conley. Those tip outs working nice for Oak Hill as Jones has it. He's going to take it on Paul and feed it underneath, and Nelson misses. Paulin on the rebound. Hall going down court, coast to coast for the way in. Zay Hall with 6. And that's what I talked about. His quickness so underrated, mentioning that in pregame, as that's a big asset for this team. As now Jones, his 3. Good! The big guy feeling it from outside. Tom Jones, 2 in the first half, 5 already, and we're not in the second, and we're not halfway through the third quarter yet. Hall will bring it up and be met at half court by Kiska. Screen coming from Paulin. Over to Paulin. He attacks, goes up, and misses the shot, but will go to the free throw line for 2. And it looks like we'll see that gets called on. That's going to get called on number 21, Conley. That's going to be his second foul, the team's first. So Conley now has 2. So Conley and Kiska have 2 for Oak Hill, and you could see there trying to get it up through the contact. And now Paulin's going to get a go through the line for 2. His team 4 of 6 in that department today. But that one's nothing but net. And he's going to get one more is the senior, Ty Paulin, who's at the free throw line. Paulin, who had a last-second bucket to put his team up 4 at the end of the first half, and it could be a real difference maker. It's showing to be as he gets his 6th point on that, as not only did it get the team a bucket before the first half ended, it got him going, and now St. Albans picking up the pressure a little bit as it's inbounded to Kiska. He's going to take it against Sams as they're getting a little more aggressive defensively, and a foul called. We're going to see who that's on. He was in a host of guys. That's going to go against Sams. So that's going to be Sams' second. And on the other side, Sams has 2, as does Hall. So right now, no major foul trouble. Nobody's picked up 3 yet. Conley, or at least for St. Albans, as Kiska has it, he gets it out to Jones. The big guy takes it, wanted the jumper, not there, tried to take it on Young. Conley's going to power in and score. As Conley will get his 7th, or Nelson, I apologize. Nelson gets his 7th point of the game, and that cuts the lead back to 3. David Nelson, who hit a big 3 in the first half for his team as part of that run, forced St. Albans to take a timeout. As now that's going to be lobbed up to McLean. He gives it back to Hall, screen from McLean. And he goes again, kicks it to the corner. Young's 3, good. And Holden Young gets his first 3, and that's the team's 6th. So not a bad shooting night at all for St. Albans. As Kiska gives it back to Nelson. He takes the jumper and misses. Hall skies up for it, and he's going to run. Hall attacks his jumper off. Rebound by Conley. And Jones will run it up, but pressure, well, St. Albans now dropping back, but they've really picked it up here in the second half, going into more of a full court game as now Armani Hicks will drive, and he's blocked but fouled by, and if that's on Hall, it's going to be his 3rd. I couldn't see the official's hand. I don't know if that was on Hall or on Claire, but we're going to see as a replay coming up. So, that looked again. I'm looking up from like way over into a laptop. That might have been clean. I couldn't, but again, I'm keeping track of so many things as Hicks misses the first free throw. I believe the first trip to the line for Oak Hill here tonight. But that's going to go. That foul will go, by the way, against Claire, and he has 2. And the second one missed. So St. Albans able to dodge one there as Hall will bring it up. And he'll be met by Kiska. They get it over to Young and back to McLean. Sams takes the shot and misses, but underneath is Claire, and he misses the shot but gets fouled. Offensive rebounding, a big factor for St. Albans here in the second half. It's been Claire and Paulin going to work in there, as now that foul's going to go against number 10, Kiska. That's going to be his 3rd. And Kiska, who had 25 last week, only 2 here, or in his last game, only 2 here tonight, as Claire will get the first free throw. He's going to get one more. This could give his team the largest lead of the game, and he misses it. So St. Albans, but Claire gets it and scores. Claire just takes it out of there and gets the bucket, and St. Albans now with their largest lead of the game. Their biggest lead was 24-17 in the first half. Armani Hicks guarded by Claire up top into the lane, and he's fouled. We're going to see who that's called on. And that's going to be against Xavion Claire. That's going to be his third, so he's the first for his team to pick up 3 fouls. And he's going to come out of the game with 11 points off the bench. Start this one, as that's going to be Paulin back in the game now as he guards Conley and tried to get it to Nelson and turned over. So 9th turnover for the game for Oak Hill, and it's going to go back to St. Albans. St. Albans, who has 7 of the turnovers, and of course 3 of those came in this half. As Hall will be met at half court by Antoine Hicks, who's in the game. And it's deflected. They get it to the corner, and the three's up and off by Sams. Rebound by Paulin, though. That's what I mean, that rebounding. Hall fakes it, gets it over to Sams. He goes up. It's blocked by Kiska, and they're going to say it's off of Sams. It's going to go back to Oak Hill. So good hands in there and a risky move by Levi Kiska trying to block that shot. And Kiska with 3 fouls right now, but got in there and made a big defensive play, looking to get his team back in this one as St. Albans picking up full court here in the second half. And here we go, as that's going to be Armani Hicks with the basketball. So Hicks, who's stayed out of foul trouble so far. He has picked up 3 in the first half, and it's deflected and taken away by Sams. And it's deflected back out. Bodies hit the floor everywhere. Sams goes into the bleachers, and Antoine Hicks comes out of there limping just a tad, but looks hopefully okay. He's walking on it. Bria just shaking it off. Sams gets up, nobody hurt. Good to see is, gosh, you got to love the hustle of these two teams. I mean, Sam's making the play at one end, but then Antoine Hicks hustling back down the other way to get it done. As now Paulin up to Sams. He fakes the shot, takes it, and it's partially blocked. Thomas might have gotten a piece of that one. And it's going to be Oak Hill basketball. I think Thomas might have partially blocked that because that was good timing as Paulin got his hands up, but Kidska gets his second bucket of the game. No doubt, I know he'd like to get going in this half as the lead's back to 7. As Hall up top, he's going to be met by Kiska, and he'll set the offense up. We'll see if they try to hold for the last shot. They may. Young over to Sams, guarded tightly by Nelson, and he's going to lob it back to Young. And Young to the corner to Sams. And a timeout called by St. Albans. It's going to be a 30. So a timeout called on the court. So we'll keep it here. The second 30 taken by St. Albans. So right now in the second half, the St. Albans picking up the pressure a little bit. And, of course, a lot to say. Another person, man, again, credit to Josh Bowman on this one. We're talking about Adam Fletcher, a graduate from here who has gone on to be, you see his name up there, first team All-State, and now an assistant coach with the Indiana Hoosiers. I wonder if he was at the, I call it an event every summer, the DMV, D.C., Maryland, Virginia, the DMV Live at DeMatha Catholic High School, and I wonder if he was at that by chance. There was a lot of coaches. Or I'm sorry, Illinois. I said, oh, you're good. John, Illinois is that. I was thinking Indiana, but he's gone on to the next level and has been very successful. A lot of success coming out of St. Albans, and again, just some great coaches and players coming out of here. As the screen set up top by Paulin, it's thrown to Young. 10 seconds, it's turned over, and Oak Hill has it, and Hicks blocked. I thought he was going to be blocked by Hall, but great job by Antoine Hicks to hang on to that and get it, and that's going to do it. That's Hicks's first bucket. So it's 43-38 at the end of 3. as Oak Hill concludes it on a 4-0 run with the last second bucket. We'll be right back here on Video Productions.
Your vehicle is damaged in an accident. It's not only the damage, it's the inconvenience that's the problem. David Smith Frame and Body Shop has over 35 years experience in the business of not only fixing your vehicle correctly, but to work with your insurance company in helping arrange a rental. It's all in the experience of the people at David Smith Frame and Body Shop that make it a good experience for you.
I hope you don't need us, but if you do.
Like Papa says, isn't it nice to know David Smith Frame and Body Shop is there for you?
And we're back here on Video Productions as we're getting ready to start the fourth quarter. It's a 5-point lead. And yeah, sitting here and looking through. I'm going to check something real quick. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, okay. Awesome. Yeah, we're here sitting here, got a group with us at the table here and getting this game back at it as a big turn. As St. Albans had a chance for the last second shot, and I mean, you know, really a swing in momentum as Oak Hill got it and was able to get a last second shot. Antoine Hicks would score a lay-in. As now on the court for Oak Hill, it's Kiska, Jones, who had 5 in the third quarter. That's Antoine Hicks, that's Conley, and Nelson. Hicks' three, good! And the big guys up the double digits. Tom Jones from the outside, and it's a 7-0 run from Oak Hill. As Hall, screen coming from Paulin, and they'll switch off on him. For St. Albans, it's McLean, it's McLean, it's Claire, it's Young, Paulin, and Hall on the court right now. As screen coming from Paulin, Hall goes against, and that's going to be the fourth foul on Kiska. Kiska's been held pretty much in check tonight, only 4 for him so far, but again, that could change quickly in the fourth quarter. As now Hall will inbound, I think Xander Carter of Ashland, a candidate for Mr. Basketball in Kentucky, as he played at Bardstown, and they did a good job in the first 3 quarters, but the fourth quarter, he was able to get it going and helped and secured a win for his team. As Kiska will go into the bench, and Armani Hicks will go back in the game. Hicks, who has 3 fouls himself and has to be a little bit careful. Paulin, good hands, good put up, and missed it. And it's deflected out, and Oak Hill, Armani Hicks gets it, but they're going to say he was on the line. And that was great concentration regardless. Paulin had excellent position in the paint, as now Brogan Sams checking back in the game. As Sams, who picked up his 500th point earlier, Sams probably will pay the rest of the way. Claire's 3 off. He gets the basketball, and Jones, and that's going to go out on Claire. And that's going to go back to Oak Hill. It's 10-9, the turnovers, and St. Albans has been turning it over a little bit more this half. And right now, a 7-0 run by Oak Hill, who could tie or take the lead on this possession with a bucket. As Jones, they'll not get it to the big guy. He's going to put it up, miss it, rebound by Claire. Hall, and he has numbers. He feeds it in to Sams. Finds Paulin underneath for the lay-in. Ty Paulin with his 8th point. As now Hicks to set up the offense. Armani Hicks, a big play and a nice read from Hall. That's great basketball IQ. As Nelson responds, count it, and the foul. David Nelson gets the bucket, the 5'8" senior, and he's going to get the chance to go to the line for the old-fashioned 3-point play. Hall picks up the foul. That's his 3rd, as Claire and Hall each have 3 fouls for St. Albans. And they're looking to substitute as Young checks in for St. Albans. And Hall will come out momentarily as Nelson will go to the line. They've only had one trip today, and we're 0 for 2. Nelson's shot and missed, but rebounded by Conley and taken to the outside, and St. Albans will get reset defensively. Nelson, as he's guarded by Young, gives it over to Conley, and a good move putting Paulin on him. Conley, who had 8 quick points to open this one up. He attacks, takes the jumper. It's off. Rebound by Sams, and he's going to go the other way through traffic, and a foul called against Oak Hill. I call him. Might have been bumped a little bit on that, but again, I always question my angles. As that's going to be, that's going to be that's going to go against Antoine Hicks. That's going to be his first, the team's second. So 2 fouls to give now for Oak Hill. We're certainly in that type of a game here where that's going to matter. As Sams, his 3, in and out. Paulin underneath with the rebound, and he's going to get to go back to the free throw line. Ty Paulin scored his first bucket right to end the second quarter, and he has a chance to go into double digits if he converts on both these free throws. And that foul's going to go against Brent Conley, his third, and the first shot's missed by Paulin, as his team's going to get one more. So Paulin, though, of course, I mean, what an asset he's been to his team in this game. And that one's going to go off the front of the rim. And it's the same score. So now 7 for 12 from the free throw line, 58% right now is St. Albans. As Antoine Hicks attacks, and he puts the floater up. It's tipped and back into the hands of Paulin. Sams on the run. Sams has not scored a bucket in the SAF after having 15 in the first. And a foul called. And it's getting heated. Somebody's been teed up. Another technical. And we're going to have a mess to sort out here. We'll see what the call is or who gets called. I'm going to push my headset back a bit. Here this official's discussing right now. I don't know. I just saw bodies hit the floor everywhere. And we'll see what they say. But, I mean, right now, regardless, that shouldn't taint what's been a great second half. St. Albans is led by as much as 9, but Oak Hill a valiant comeback as they are on a 9-2 run right now, with Kiska getting ready to check back into the game with 4 fouls, as he has 4. Armani Hicks has 3. Brent Conley has 3 fouls for the Oak Hill. Meanwhile, on the other side, Claire and Hall for St. Albans each have 3 fouls. Both teams still plenty of timeouts. I mean, I think St. Albans they've used 2 30s, and I think Oak Hill's just used a full right now. So we'll see what the officials decide. I'm going to guess this is a double technical. I didn't see any physical contact from my vantage point. I think that might more jawing than anything. And I'm not sure about. So a double technical called. So what's happened is, Conley has picked up a personal foul. So Conley and Kiska for Oak Hill will have 4, and Claire picked up a technical. I believe he picked up a double technical. So Claire picks up 2 technical fouls, and that is a big loss for St. Albans. Claire will finish with 11, and now Nelson at the free throw line, and he's going to get to take advantage of some free shots. I was about to say Oak Hill was 0 for 3. He's going to have 2 more coming as well. Big shout out to these guys next to me out, as he's going to get ready. So right now, and Oak Hill also will be in the bonus, and they take the lead for the first time in a good while. I think the last time they led was when it was very early. They led 13-4, And I don't know if after St. Albans went on that run, I don't know if they've led since. So Nelson is going to get 4 easy points at the line. And I'm sure he likes that because you just don't see opportunities like that come up very often. And he's now at 13. And Conley on the other end, though, picked up his 4th foul. But Oak Hill is going to have the basketball. So Claire just, yes, it was verbal, I think, what it was. And they just couldn't keep him under control. And now is out of the game after picking up the double technical. As that's going to be inbounded by Nelson, and it gets it into Armani Hicks as he's guarded by McLean. And man-to-man defense from St. Albans as Kiska back to Jones, who's had the hot hand this half. It's deflected by Paul and deflected back into the hands of Nelson. And over to Kiska, who's guarded by Parks. Jones fakes the 3, drives in. That's a great matchup, him and Paulin. As Antoine Hicks over to Kiska against Parks. Back out to Nelson, and he's guarded by number 11, Sams. Over to Armani Hicks as he's guarded tightly by McLean. Goes in. Hicks puts it up and misses. 5-on-4 the other way. Sams feeds it underneath to Paulin, who misses the shot but draws the foul. Great job by the big man to run the court, and he's going to get a chance to go to the line for 2. As that's the team's 5th. I apologize, I got the fouls the other way. That one's going to go against Antoine Hicks, his 2nd. So now St. Albans is in the bonus as Paulin will get 2, and he'll sink the 1st. One more coming up for Paulin. Zay Hall checks in for Parks. So an interesting look coming back in this one. They're going to try to go with a little bit of a smaller lineup to conclude this one, and Parks will tie it up, or Paulin will tie it up. And that's double digits for him now. So Clarks, Claire, and Sims in double digits, but again, Sims has not had a single point this half. I'm surprised. I think they're going to try to use him more as a screener to try to get him open. I would not be surprised to see that. Nelson to the corner. It's deflected out of bounds by Sams. He's getting in there and trying to generate offense and try it through defense. You got to admire that effort. As now it's going to go back to Oak Hill. I mean, that's the thing. Deflection's so underrated, forcing a team to have to reset. It won't ever show up on a stat sheet, but it makes an impact. And Armani Hicks misses. Rebound by Hall. And he's going to run. Hall the other way to the corner. 3 by Young. Blocked. But it goes into the hands of Jones. And he's going to get fouled by Paulin. So Paulin a foul 94 feet away from the basket. That's going to be the team's 4th. And that's going to be his 2nd. So he's done a good job staying out of foul trouble as Conley. Overall is Conley now. So now both teams will be in the bonus coming up the rest of the way. As now that's going to be inbounded by Nelson as more of a sagging full court man-to-man coming from St. Albans. As Kiska against Paulin, and he's going to get it back to Armani Hicks. He'll set the offense against, Sams, and back out to Kiska. He attacks Kiska and gets fouled. And I think Paulin's saying his hands are up, but I think Paulin might have got him with the body. As we'll take a. Yeah, it looks like just nudged him with the body, as that's going to send Kiska to the line, and he's going to miss it. So right now, Oak Hill 4 of 8 from the free throw line. Make it 5 of 9, as Kiska now has 5. And that's going to be was the 3rd foul on Paulin, by the way. And St. Albans is 9 of 14 for about 64%. Hall over to Young. And over to McLean. Back over. Sams, they're not going to give him a centimeter, and I can't blame him. And he's going to be fouled by Hicks, and if that's on Armani Hicks, that's going to be his 4th. That is, so Hicks has 4. Armani Hicks has 4. Kiska has 4. And Conley has 4 for Oak Hill. Meanwhile, for St. Albans, Claire has fouled out. but nobody at this point has four. Sam's first free throw is good, and that is his first point of the second half. And he's going to get one more, could give his team the lead back. Oak Hill trailed 43-34 here in the second half. And now the second shot from Logan Sams is up and good. So now 11-16 from the free throw line. It's deflected by Hall. They try to throw it off of Hall and nearly turned over as Hicks now, and they're running. Jones has it. They get it back out. Kiska's open and misses the three, and a foul under the bucket. And if that's against Conley, if that's against, I think they pointed. Okay. So you see the three go up, and Conley tipped it out, and I don't know. Yeah, they called that on Conley, and that's going to, so he'll be out of the game. Conley finishes overall tonight, had 12. I think much of that came in the first half. He had 8 of his team's first 13, and now this is going to send Sams to the line for 2 more. And the first shot, that one's good. One more coming up for Sams. So trying to get Brogan Sams in a rhythm in this half. He had 15 in the first and has 3 right now in the second, but has not hit a field goal. And he's going to miss that one as 12 of 18 from the free throw line is St. Albans. So now Kiska will have it, his team down 2. And he's guarded by Paulin. And over to Jones. Tom Jones up top. Kiska against Paulin inside. They kick it out and off of Antoine Hicks and turned over. That's going to go back the other way. Down court to Hall. Good hands. Brogan. Sams' 3 missed. And Armani Hicks will get it. He'll feed it down court. Antoine Hicks. And it's thrown away. What a diving play. But the body's going all over the court. And it lands back in the hands. I can't keep up with this one. It lands back in the hands of Oak Hill. As Kendrick Gregory and Josh Bowman up there with me, get a good laugh out of this one. A heck of a, but you got to admire the hustle. As Kiska gets it over. They get to Nelson for his triple. It's good. David Nelson, he has 16 and a timeout called by, it's going to be taken by, timeout taken by St. Albans. That's going to be a full as they trail by 1. So they've used, I have 2 30s and a full. Okay, and we're going to take a break. Here, we'll be right back. You're watching Video Productions.
I'm Chris Braley, owner of Braley Care Homes. What separates Braley Care Homes apart is that we focus on home. Home is where they want to be, and home is what we give them. We are licensed for 16 residents, which allows us to provide individual attention to those that need it. We prepare home-cooked meals in our country kitchen so they can have a sensory experience of that process. When I have a family member come to me and say, gosh, they seem to be so much calmer, or they're talking so much more, that means everything to me.
Braley Care Homes, where caring is our business.
Hard to, and we're back here on Video Productions. It's 51-50 after David Nelson, who stepped it up big in the fourth quarter. The turning point was a technical foul. I mean, it was only a 2-point game, but a double technical against Xavion Clare, and he would pick up fouls number 4 and 5. And Clare, who had 11, including 2 threes, now out of the game. But then Conley would foul out on the other end for Oak Hill. So right now, and Siska, and as Sams goes in and scores, he's up to 20, his first field goal of the second half. As that's going to be Armani Hicks. Screen coming from Kiska. Hicks over to Kiska, into the lane, and a charge. Young was anticipating that one, and that's going to foul Kiska out of the game. So Kiska will go out, and in will come Richardson. So Kiska and number 21 Nelson have both, or number 21 Conley have both fouled out for Oak Hill. as now it's going to be the basketball will be St. Albans. It's a 1-point game, one-possession game. And the 1 minute, 19 seconds to go, that's a lot of basketball left in a game like this. McLean up top, over to Sams. He's going to hold on to it. He's going to try to run as much as he can. Both teams in the bonus right now. St. Albans, I believe, has 2 timeouts remaining, if I'm correct, as it's going to be taken in by McLean. Out to Hall, and he's going to run clock. Over to Sams, and he takes it inside. Sams feeds it underneath to Paulin. What a feed for the lay-in, and Paulin gets point number 12. Brogan Sams with the assist, and a timeout called by Oak Hill. And it's going to be a full timeout, which right now the situation, both teams are in the bonus. The possession arrow is with St. Albans. And, of course, fouled out for Oak Hill is number 21 Conley and number 10 Kiska. Kiska, who finished with 5, and Conley, who finished with 12, including a hot start to this one. Meanwhile, for St. Albans, Savion Clare has fouled out, and he has 11 on the game. So some key players fouled out on both teams. Clare, who came off the bench and had a nice start to get St. Albans back in this one when they trailed 13-4. If you're just tuning in, you're in for a good one. It started out, Oak Hill would jet out to a 13-4 run. Meanwhile, St. Albans, though, would go on a 20-4 run to lead 20-4-17. Oak Hill would claw in a little bit. They'd cut it to 26-24 before Ty Paulin would pick up his first bucket right at halftime to give his team a 4-point lead. Meanwhile, in the second half, St. Albans got more aggressive. They built a 9-point lead, but it would be a 7-0 run. It was 43-34, and then it would be cut back to 43-41 as Tom Jones had a couple big buckets, a couple three-pointers. Jones had 8 in the second half, and now is so on the court right now. It's number 11 Nelson, number 1 Armani Hicks, number 3 Antoine Hicks, number 0 Richardson, number 34 Jones for Oak Hill. For St. Albans, it's number 3 McLean, it's number 30 Young, number 11 Sams, number 2 Hall, number 4 Paulin. As the shot's missed, and Paulin tries to keep it up, he gets it to Young. And now I imagine they're going to start fouling, but I don't think they're going to foul Sams. They are. And Sams is going to go to the free throw line. He did miss his last one, so the sophomore will get a chance for 2 free throws here to put a little gap in this game as that foul goes against number 3, Antoine Hicks, who has 3. So the foul situation, Antoine Hicks has 3. Armani Hicks is on the court with 4. Brent Conley and Levi Kitska have fouled out for Oak Hill. Sams will hit the first. He's at 21. As his team now 13-19 from the free throw line. One more coming up for Sams as Clare has fouled out for St. Albans, and Hall on the court right now with 3, but nobody with 4. And a second one. Sams goes 5 for 6 from the free throw line late. His team 14-20 overall for 70%. As Jones goes in, his floater misses. Rebound by Paulin. The big guy gets it, and Young over to McLean, and that's going to probably just about wrap this one up, as that one's going to go against Nelson, and that's going to be his first. Surprisingly, with all this, that's Nelson's first foul in all this. He's been able to avoid all the mess, as now McLean will go to the free throw line for 2, and he'll miss the first. So one more coming up for McLean. As his team 14-21 in this one. As the second shot, it's up, and that one's nothing but net. 15-22 from the free throw line. McLean has 3, and it's a big point there. Armani Hicks back to Jones. His 3 at the buzzer. Got it, but that's going to cut it back to 3. Jones gets it, and so your final score, St. Albans will win 57-54. They will improve their record to 6-7. Again, this is after an 0-4 start, so a 6-2 here in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, Oak Hill will fall to 5-6, but a valiant effort on their end, down 9 in the second half, and I mean they started 1-4 themselves, and it beat 2 of those teams that beat them early in the season. So no question they've come a long way, and we're going to say thank you all for tuning in and watching this one. I want to say thank you for having me tonight. I came up from working on, came up for Ashland for this. It's a great, beautiful campus to see, and also a big thank you to everyone here who helped me with the numbers and getting everybody down, and thank you to Zay Hall, and thank you to Xavion Claire. And, the final numbers, Logan Sams will finish the game with 22, leading all scores. Paulin will finish the game with 10. He'll have 12. Xavion Claire will have 11. Hall with 6. Deuce McLean with 3. Holding Young with 3 on St. Albans' side. Oak Hills the other way. It was Nelson leading the way, and he had 16. And let's see, Conley had 12. Armani Hicks had 6. Kiska had 5. And Hicks had 2. But we're going to get ready to jump off here. We want to say thank you all again for tuning in and watching for this Video Productions broadcast. Thank you to Kendrick Gregory on camera, Josh Bowman on production for tuning in. God bless you all. Good night, and see you soon.
Welcome, folks, to the most mouth-watering showdown on television, the Hangry Games Ultimate Snack-Off, right here at your local Little General store. As the snacks fly and the deli slices, remember, dear viewers, every item they're using can be found at your nearest Little General store, where creativity meets convenience. Keep your appetites brave and your snacks ready.
Hello, I'm Chris Braley, owner of Braley Care Homes. What separates Braley Care Homes apart is that we focus on home. Home is where they want to be, and home is what we give them. We are licensed for 16 residents, which allows us to provide individual attention to those that need it. We prepare home-cooked meals in our country kitchen so they can have a sensory experience of that process. When I have a family member come to me and say, gosh, they seem to be so much calmer, or they're talking so much more, that means everything to me.
Braley Care Homes, where caring is our business.
When your vehicle is damaged in an accident, it's not only the damage, it's the inconvenience that's the problem. David Smith Frame and Body Shop has over 35 years experience in the business of not only fixing your vehicle correctly, but to work with your insurance company in helping arrange a rental. It's all in the experience of the people at David Smith Frame and Body Shop that make it a good experience for you.
I hope you don't need us, but if you do.
Like Papa says, isn't it nice to know David Smith Frame and Body Shop is there for you?
At Manny Ellison Lane, it's not just business, it's personal.
We care deeply about what we do. We're fully immersed in the gravity of the client's circumstance. We understand what's at stake for them.
Are you ready to make a difference? ResCare Community Living is looking for caregivers to provide compassionate, quality care to support individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Enjoy flexible schedules, comprehensive benefits, career advancement opportunities, daily pay options, and more. Text BEST LIFE to 97211 and start your career in caring.